Stop thinking of the worst thing that could happen. We are so caught up on the worst case scenario. We have a hard time focusing on the things that could be positive, the good things that could come out of situations that we're unfamiliar with. Being in love, being emotionally attached to another person comes with a lot of risks, and it comes with a lot of pain, insecurity, jealousy, envy, all of those things, and it makes us feel unstable. And a lot of people, the default is to just depend on another person to provide that happiness, that stability, that joy, and that is where things kind of fall apart. When you start depending on another person to provide you the happiness, the fun in life, then that will put another person on a pedestal in your life and take away that freedom that you have for yourself, which is to be your own provider, be your own source of love, joy, and happiness in life. And that is a really hard, tough position to be in when another person holds your feelings, your emotions, your stability. Stop putting other people in front of you and start living your own life. No matter if you're in a relationship or not, I think that people need to realize that before you can help others, before you can be there for others, you have to be full. You have to be complete. Your identity, your ability to self-function in society. You have to be able to learn how to be alone in order to be in a stable and healthy relationship. Although there is that argument that you can heal in a relationship, and it takes a special person for that to happen. It takes somebody who is willing and patient to, walk you through all of the negative and emotional experiences that you've had in the past that they were not part of, because they see the potential in your relationship and they see that you are worth the work and you're worth the effort of trying to build a life with you, trying to build a relationship with you. So a lot of people get blinded by that willingness when somebody good comes along and they give you all of this joy and this love that you've never really had before. It's easy to fall into the trap of, okay, they're my safe space, they're my home, and they will provide me the stability that I never had before. Even though that is a good thing to have, it's dangerous to keep depending on that source of love, because that makes a relationship out of balance. If one person is the only one that is holding up the relationship by being the loving one, by being the supportive one, and you're here self-sabotaging yourself, it really puts a lot of strain on the other person to be right, to be loyal, to be faithful, to be perfect. And that's not something that you want to put another person through, especially if they are somebody that you care for, you love, you feel affectionate for. That's why it's important that before you get into any committed relationship, any serious relationship, that you know what exactly you can offer to the table, and you're not just going in there blindly, saying that I'm ready for this relationship and I'm ready to make it work, when you still have a lot of issues that you have to deal with emotionally and just a lot of inner work to do. And a lot of people, therapy is still a very new concept, right? Not a lot of people are open to the idea of going therapy. Most people's way of coping with life events is just the things that they know, which is like retail therapy or exercising, which are all good things, but there's still a lot more to life events, the trauma that we carry, and the experiences that we've felt, that we've had in life. There's so much to unpack that is not it's not enough to just go on a walk, go on a run, consistently. You still have to talk it out with somebody, even if it's not with a therapist. Like, just filming yourself on a video and talking to yourself. What are the things that I've experienced? What can I work on? What is it that I'm missing and lacking in life? A lot of those things need to be unpacked through discussion, conversations, even if it's with yourself, just so you can better understand, because the more you hear what exactly is happening around you, the clearer it gets. Because in our mind, it's very hard to comprehend what is happening, because you're depending on your neurochemicals to do the work for you, which is like figure things out. But it's not easy to visualize what exactly is happening if it's all in your head. That's why therapy is very important, and just having somebody, a support system, who can be there to just kind of listen. You don't need to seek advice. If some people, a lot of experiences can be handled just by talking it out and venting out their feelings to another person, even if it's not another person. But a lot of those things are important in order to learn yourself, learn what you need to work on before getting into a relationship. A relationship, I think a lot of us nowadays don't understand the gravity of being in a relationship with somebody. It's a very serious thing to commit to, because it deals with a lot of emotional stuff, and it doesn't just involve your emotions, and it involves another person's emotion, who is probably secure. If you meet somebody while you're out in a coffee shop, and you guys click, and it feels really good to be with this person because they're secure, they're settled in life, they have a good career, they're family oriented. Pretend all of these good things that you've been seeking falls within this person's life, and you get tempted to jump into a relationship without even considering, are you ready? Are you ready to involve this person into your life, and let them get to know all the dirty things, all the mess and the chaos in your life. I think that there's not a lot of self-awareness and consideration for other people who you involve into your own mess. And I think this is why therapy is important, because everybody carries some sort of trauma, and not a lot of people have done the work to understand their traumas. People just, the most common way is just to bury it and forget about it, ignore it, and let it manifest in different ways that we most likely, in hindsight, would not want to happen. But because we're living in this like blinded way, like just following the trend, following what everybody else is doing without really considering where we're at in life and how can we better ourselves in the situation that we're in. And because of that, like, somebody else's trauma can be passed on to another person who was living a completely normal life and have been in a safe, stable, emotional space. But then this person comes along who, at first impression, is a good fit, a good match. But the more you get to know each other, the more things kind of unravel, and it gets, everything kind of like gets shown, and it's too late now to back out, because emotions are involved and families are involved, and spaces like living together and all of that, like if you have a pet or whatever. Like, there's so many things that intersect in people's lives when they start, when emotions are involved. And that is the hardest thing to fix, is when you're emotionally involved with somebody and then things don't go out the way that you wanted to, because things come up in life, right? We can get into a relationship thinking that we're okay, but really there's still a lot more that you don't know. And every time you meet someone new, you know, you also get to learn their lives and you get involved in their lives. So it's not, I think people need to take relationships more seriously if that is something that you're into, which is like finding a serious, committed, stable relationship. You don't just go in there, hoping to meet the right person. You also have to go in there thinking that I'm the right person and whoever is a match for me will be a match for me. There shouldn't be a double standard that, like, if you're a woman and, you're out here being selective, which is rightfully so, but you're only looking for the guys that is like perfect, that matches every single thing that you want in a person, and they check all of your lists, but you're not doing the work yourself. And that's unfair to the other person who is ready to be in a committed relationship, when you kind of catfish them into thinking that you're this perfect person when you still have a lot of unresolved things in life. And it just sucks because it happens so often, and that trauma gets passed on when somebody is not ready and they end up being involved in another person's life emotionally, personally, and then things don't turn out the way that they wanted to, and it just goes down the drain, and all that's left are negative memories and negative experiences, and that gets passed on to another relationship for both of those people. And the quality that they can provide in a relationship decreases every time that another person decides in their mind that they're okay. Like, I'm just saying that to take it seriously, to really get to know yourself, be comfortable with being alone, get to know your triggers, get to know the things that you need to work on, get to know what your standard is, who do you want, who matches well with the way that you live, your lifestyle, your goals in life, your vision, your values, all of those things. Like, you have to, before you play the game, you have to know who your players are. You have to know how you like to play the game, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. I don't like to use the game analogy to life because it's so different and there's so many factors and it's unpredictable, but that's what makes it exciting. In the same way that it is for sports games, it's unpredictable. You don't know what could happen, you don't know what injuries could fall. There's so many factors that goes on in a 4-hour game and also in a 100-year lifespan. So I think that it's important. It's also good to experiment, go out there. Sometimes the best way to learn about yourself is by trying out different types of people, different types of attachment and relationships, right? But what I'm trying to say is just be careful. If you have the ability and you have the self-awareness to get to know yourself and improve, if you have the time also and the resources to work on yourself, be a better version of yourself, then I would say focus all of your energy on that before looking for a relationship, because the last thing you want is to go looking for a relationship and have it go down the drain because you're not ready. You're not a whole person. You still have, your cup is half filled, and you're looking for another person to complete your identity, to complete your life, where that's a heavy responsibility to put on another person. And also with that comes with like insecurities, envy, jealousy. Stop criticizing yourself, stop being hard on yourself, and stop comparing yourself with other people, because every person that you meet, including yourself, has a history. It doesn't matter who you are. You carry a string of people in your life who you were involved with in the past. And when you join hands with another person, when you commit in a serious relationship, all of those strings of people in history, they also become involved to some extent in your new partner's life. That's why it's important to not only work on yourself, but also work on the relationships that you've had in the past, and make sure that there's no unresolved situations, relationships, before going into to another relationship. Because what you don't want to happen is to, like I said, like pass on that trauma to another person who didn't ask for it, who would rather not be involved in that situation had they known that that was the kind of person that they were going to be involved with. So please be nice to other people. Don't, it's a good service to yourself and to other people to really work on yourself and get to know yourself, go to therapy, be on a good, healthy lifestyle, take care of yourself emotionally and physically, and also your responsibilities as an adult. Like, align yourself and be the person that you want to be, the same way that you want another person to be the way that they are when you meet them. You can't just go around looking for the perfect man or the perfect woman when you yourself is not on the same level that they are in life. And everybody can get there. It's just, it takes some self-discipline and self-isolation and a lot of hard work, mental work, to get yourself to that place that you want to be. But like I said, it's better to waste your time getting to know yourself or working on yourself than waste your time trying out different relationships to get to know yourself. I think that you get more out of focusing on yourself rather than enjoying life and going out there, meeting all these new people, going through heartbreaks, hooking up, whatever. It's better to just work on yourself, and whoever comes along comes along. And if you're ready, then you're ready, right? Like, it's more of a win-win if you put all of your energy and time and resources into yourself, because then there's less likely a chance that you'll run into somebody who you wouldn't want in your life, because your energy, the way that you carry yourself, your values, your mindset, they all change, and that is what will attract the person that you want. So make sure that before you go looking for a relationship, that you are ready and you are your cup is filled and you're ready to give the quality of love that you want to provide for yourself and for other people. I hope that makes sense. Just wanted to go on a little rant. When it comes to relationship and love, like, definitely not the best person to ask. I am also going through my own things, but I think this is just like from my own observation, from my own experiences. Obviously, it's always nice to hear other people's stories and get to know what they've learned from their own experiences. I think it's always like a full circle moment when you can relate to somebody who has gone through the same thing that you have gone through, and you can just bond and be excited to keep learning, right? To keep growing. And I hope that happens for everybody. Be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself. You're not immediately going to get there. It's going to take realizing it and then not doing the action. It's going to take doing the action and then falling out of the habit and the behavior and the routine, the goal that you set for yourself, and then going back in it, and starting back in square one. And it's not a straight line, it's not a parallel line. There's going to be curves and whatever it is, like, there's going to be a lot of trials and error when it comes to building the life that you want for yourself, building the person that you want to become, the type of man that you want to become, the type of woman that you want to become. And being motivated, motivation comes and goes, right? But discipline is a thing that really sticks. It's going to the gym even if you don't want to. It's reading a book even if you're not in the mood for it. It's learning a new skill even if you're not really interested in that skill anymore. It's the habits that you build that will make the biggest difference in your life and the type of person that you are and the lifestyle that it will eventually have. So focus on building those routines, those habits, and changing your mindset every day, every second. Getting rid of all of those negative self-criticism that we put into ourselves, like you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're that person is better and I'm never gonna get to where they're at. Get rid of all of that and start focusing on yourself. And don't be so like the only competition you have is the version of yourself from yesterday, from the past. It's not anybody else. It's not your partner. It's not the girls that you see or the boys that you see at the gym. It's not the people at your workplace. It's not your family member. It's yourself, and that should be the only motivation, the only like your tunnel vision should be focusing on making sure that version from your past is better than today, better than like a week later or a year later, right? Set yourself as your own competition and you will see a significant amount of difference. And I hope that, people will get there at some point. It's just a matter of building those micro habits every single day. It's shifting the way that you speak to yourself. It's shifting the way that you speak to other people. It's shifting the way that you behave around other people, the way that you talk, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you stand, the way that you interact with other people. Is it with kindness? Is it with mindfulness, posture, all of those things. Just building onto those one little habit every single day, every week, the same time of the week, and seeing the results at the end, which you're going to be so proud of yourself if you just consistently stick to a routine or building a habit. I hope that everybody understood what I was saying. Again, a lot of these episodes are just last minute, impulsive, and just wanting to, give my 2 cents out there, and hopefully that some people can make use of it. And it's also a way for me to motivate myself and to keep myself accountable. Like I said, we're focusing on growth and self-improvement, and it's not about anybody else's journey but yourself. And no matter if somebody comes along who wants to be a part of your life, a partner, a family member, whoever it is, it's not letting go of your goals, which is yourself, and sticking to that journey of becoming a better version of yourself. Anyway, we're past 20 minutes, but I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'm trying to be more consistent with this podcast, and please take everything with a grain of salt. I'm not an expert. I'm just a human being who learns through my own experiences, and would like to share how I interpret things, how I learn things, how I comprehend things. And I think that it's a beauty to be able to share these things with other people, and not just within your own circle, but to other people who lives across the country or lives across the nation. Like, I think that it's a good thing that we have these kinds of technology to share these stories, not with malice, but just to build a community. But anyway, I've spoken way too long. You guys have a good weekend, and like I said, focus on those micro habits. They're not going to fail you. What's going to fail you is focusing on other people's journey. So please, eyes on the prize, and you are the prize. Bye, guys.